So as we're lying down, inhaling deep into the belly space, just feeling, sensing the breath coming in through the nostrils. And maybe we can make an infinity sign out of our breath. So breathing in through the nostrils, imagining that breath comes up, maybe even through the crown chakra. And then let it slide down the back of the spine. And then maybe it comes through that solar chakra, above the belly button, down the front of the spine, and then through the root, Muladhara, and then bringing it back up the back of the spine. And just stay with that visualization of that infinity sign. And starting to notice your thoughts today. Today we're going to focus on the number 1. The number 1 is that I am principle. So your mantra today can either be I am, or maybe just a simple so hum, which means I am. So as we're having thoughts, shoo the thoughts away and just thinking to yourself instead, so hum. Beautiful. Bring your arms out into a T. Place the palms down and start to let the knees drift left and right. Your head can go in opposite directions. And if you can hold that deep visualization of that infinity sign and that vibration, so hum. It's interesting how infinity and number 1 relate. Number 1, think of it as a wand, like a magical wand. And it's the initiator of all things in the universe. Beautiful. Come to stillness. Slide the feet together so the soles of the feet touch. The knees are going to splay open. If you like, you can bring your arms overhead and reach for opposite elbows and just start to breathe into what might be tight hips. The number 1 is really a self-centered focus, we'll say. It's you as the creator. And you can think of your thoughts as the magical wand of creation. And maybe your thoughts even flow out through that third eye center into universal consciousness, creating some type of connection with this infinite creation we live in. So as you're thinking, think directed. Think about the messages you're sending out there. Still looping that breath, inhaling the breath from the roots through the front of the spine, through the solar plexus. Let it dive to the back of the spine, through the crown, front of the spine, through the belly. Beautiful. Bring your hands down to your knees, push them together, and then bring the knees into the chest. The big toes are touching, one hand on each knee. Start to pull the knees out and away, massaging the hips. Beautiful. And take the knees in the other direction. And then bring the feet up to the sky. And let's just inhale the feet straight, press the toes towards the forehead. Then exhale, bend the knees down. Inhale, straightening the legs, flexing the toes and bending. Beautiful. Now, if you have a strap, get a strap or a belt or a tie. We're going to wrap it around the balls of the feet. Both feet are in the sky. Bring the straps together and then place both hands on the straps so that the weight of the arms, the shoulders increases your stretch, and draw those toes towards the forehead. Get yourself to a point where you're feeling a little extra oomph in this, and keep breathing. And to stay with that visualization, if you're breathing in that infinity sign, it's almost impossible to have thoughts. Repeating the mantra, Soham, I am. Beautiful. Let's let the left foot either knee bent, foot on the earth, or you can straighten that leg to the earth. And now we're going to draw that right leg even closer to us. Keep that foot flexed. Try to soften through your shoulders, your neck, and your face. Just let everything hang. And if you seal your straps together and put both hands on the one strap now, you end up with a little bit deeper stretch. If you like, you can start to pulse that leg a little bit. Beautiful. Come to stillness. Place your left hand on your hip. We're going to open that foot all the way out to the right. And then let's bring it back up. So we're going to inhale it up and then exhale it out. If you need to bend your knee a little bit, that's okay. If it feels good, bring it all the way out to the right. Don't let that left hip pop up though. And really pulling the toes towards the head. Deepening your breath. Beautiful. Inhale that foot back up to the sky. And now we're going to start to swoosh the leg over to the left and then bring it right back to center. So just inhaling, exhaling as we move. Try not to let the right hip come up just yet. So you should be getting a pretty deep stretch down that IT band if that hip is staying connected to the earth. If you want to start to roll over a little bit more deeply, take the strap, put it in your left hand now, and you can start to really stretch that leg all the way over to the left, rolling up a little bit as you do so. And play in your edge here. Beautiful. If you want to bring that foot all the way over and stay there, right on that edge where you're feeling that IT band the most. And that's that stripe that goes down the side of your leg. If you could like, you can slide your right arm out to the right, press the palm to the earth, and maybe even lift that right hip up a little bit more as you twist, twist, twist. It's okay to bend your knee. Beautiful. Inhale back through center. Let's bring that left leg up. Let it catch the strap. Again, we seal the two straps together. We take both hands on the strap, and then we can do those little pulses again. Let that foot get good and flex. So just the left foot's up, the right foot's down. And you can let your pulses kind of match the music a little bit. And then hold and flex that foot. Try to get the tension out of your shoulders, neck, and face. Breathe deep. Let that right hand go to your hip bone. We're going to inhale, open that left leg up to the left, and then bring it back to center. Inhaling as we open, exhaling as we close. Let's see if we can open it up just a little bit, but don't let that right hip come up. So press down through the palm, foot is flexed, and maybe even pulling that strap a little bit towards your forehead so the toes come forward. You can keep a little flexibility in the neck, a little softness if you rock your head, reminding you not to tense up so much. Beautiful. Bring that foot back up to the sky. Switch hands. And we're just going to inhale the foot straight. Exhale, bring it over to the right. You can take that left arm all the way out into a T, palm down. All righty. See if you can't take it over just a little bit further. Maybe the hips rising up. You can keep coming in and out of it. Or if you want, you can pause here, flex the foot. And maybe even pulling a little bit on that strap, pulling the toes to the shoulder. Deepen your breath. Beautiful. Come on back to center. You can let go of the strap, set it aside, bring the knees in for a little hug, a little roll. And then we're going to end up rocking and rolling onto hands and knees. So either drop to your right and get there, or place your hands behind your knees, rock forward and back the length of your spine. And when you get on your third or fourth one, just crisscross your ankles and we'll roll right over. I love doing that. It's like you're 4 again. Press those hands into the mat. Let's start to cat-cow here. So inhale, rock the heart forward, look up and out. Exhale, round through the spine, pulling the tailbone back to the heels. And don't be afraid to move a little faster. And do notice your thoughts. Is that exactly what you want to put out into the world? Is that what you want to manifest? Beautiful. Come to stillness and tabletop. Let's lift the knees, look at the hands, hover for just a moment. And then we're going to push back into a crouching cat. Look at your hands. And then tailbone to the sky. And start to press this out. And let's do this. Let's take our feet as wide as the mat, just for fun here, just to do it a little different. And put a little twist into your hips. And as you're twisting, the foot's turning, and as it turns, it can press down into the mat. Beautiful. Come back through center. Get the feet back under your hips. This time, toes are touching. Now push way down through the heels. Deepen that breath. And you can just start to focus on the navel now, breathing in, breathing out, and we'll let that infinity breath go just because it gets a little too complicated here. Beautiful. Take the feet now underneath the hips. We're going to inhale forward into a plank position and then exhale back. Exhale forward into this plank position and pause here. And then place the knees on the earth, chest and chin slide into a sphinx. So those elbows go under the shoulders, palms press down into the mat. And just deepen the breath here. It's a really unique practice to spend a week thinking about your thoughts and thinking about them spinning out into the world and what you might be creating with them. A lot of the teachers of yoga say that the thoughts actually don't matter, but if you have negative or less than happy thoughts consistently, sooner or later you'll act upon them. And I don't know what the right answer is, if the thoughts are creating or not creating, if it's the actions that follow. Beautiful. Slowly come down, stack the hands, bend the knees. Let those feet go left and right. And then let the feet go to the earth. Bring the arms out into a T. Look at the right hand. Pause here for a moment just to feel the body breathe. Maybe even walking your fingers out to get a big stretch on the front of the arms. Using the wood is a little bit sticky. And then slide that right hand under the shoulder as we roll to the left side of the body. And once you get there, you can either bend the top knee, place it behind you, or let's reach down for that ankle. Press the ankle into the hand, hand into the ankle. Pull back on the knee so that the thigh releases. And get a nice stretch on your shoulder too. Keep breathing. Beautiful. Gently release. Roll out. And take the gaze to the left. Pause here. Same thing. Take the pressure into the finger pads. Pull, pull super long. And then release that hand under the shoulder as we roll to the right side of the body. Catching that ankle. Even flexing the foot is going to give you a better stretch on the thigh. Beautiful. Gently release. And now let's add a little push-up, and you decide if you want to go to down dog or child's pose. Maybe even a puppy pose would feel good, where you stack the hips over the knees, slide the hands forward. And in puppy pose or child's pose, any of them, you can still wiggle the hips a little bit. Forehead pressed into the mat, massage temple to temple. Beautiful. And then let's find a little stillness here and just deepen the breath. Thinking to yourself, Soham. Soham, I am. Beautiful. If you're not in your down dog, let's get to down dog. Now get those big toes touching again. We're going to bend the knees out left and right as if we're coming back into a child's pose. So we inhale into down dog, exhale, bend the knees as the tailbone slides down. And then we come to stillness, take the feet back under the hips. And we're going to get that right foot forward on the outside of the right hand. So step it there. And once you get it there, if you like the blocks, I love the blocks, use the blocks. And we're just going to draw those circles we do with our knee. Start to massage the hip. In other direction. Beautiful. Let's come to stillness now. You can put your knee down if you like. Let that hip fall out. And maybe even press on it. Press it out in the way. Maybe revisiting your yesterday. What did we do to make our hips so tight? All right, beautiful. We're going to do that thing I do you love. Take that foot all the way over to the left side of the mat. We're going to take that block so that it's lengthwise. And that block's going to end up in the middle of the thigh as we push that thigh towards the earth. You can release the top of the back foot. And go ahead and lean to the right while you get all situated. We're going to get that shin parallel to the front of the mat, and then we're going to flex that foot. And when we're all set up nicely, we're going to straighten our hips. And take a pause. Just keep breathing. Soften your shoulders. Be on the fingertips. Beautiful. Lean to the right. Let the knee bend. Let the foot go loose. And then we're going to lift up to move that block. And then we're going to bring the hip to the earth. Take the big toes of the back foot so that you can pull that back leg away. Scissor the legs away. Front knees bent. Hips are straight on. Again, we're going to be up tall in our pigeon. Soften the shoulders. Take your gaze up. And send the breath to that left thigh, lower back. just because you always want to. Go ahead and come down to the elbows just for a little bit, just for a second. And keep breathing. All right, beautiful. We're going to start to lift up. I want you to plant your hands. I want you to curl the back toes. We lift the knee. We're going to come to a three-legged dog. So a lot of times you can just shoot up, or we transition through a tabletop. So we either just shoot that leg up, or we just bend into those knees, come to our tabletop, and then rise up. Lift that right leg and draw those big, beautiful rainbows behind you. Taking your toe, maybe even to the wood outside the mat. All right, let's put that foot back down. Go ahead and press it out a little bit or find stillness. Wiggle your hips. Deepening your breath, pulling that navel all the way in and up. Engage through your pelvic floor. And shake that head yes and no just to make sure you're soft through your neck. Beautiful. That left foot is going to end up outside your left hand. So you can either step it there, or if you need to come through tabletop to place it there, that's fine. Once you get there, you can get your blocks inside that foot. You can lift that back knee and we'll draw those little circles. Think about massaging your hips, lubricating your hips. Take that in the other direction. And then you can just pause here, letting that knee fall open, or you can take your right knee to the earth. You can put your elbow or your hand on that knee, press it open. And breathe, noticing your thought patterns. Sometimes we get into a cycle of negative thinking, or, stuff happens, the mind goes. A friend once taught me you can cancel clear anything. So if you're thinking really nasty thoughts, notice it and then just be like, oh, cancel clear that. I don't even mean that. Some say the universe works on the emotional vibration, not the words. So you can relax into maybe the universe knows what you really mean. And sometimes you really are angry at someone, aren't you? Go ahead and start to walk that foot over, just like we did before. We're going to take that block. We're going to place it so that it's halfway between the knee and the thigh. Take your time getting there. Go ahead and lean to the left now as you do. We want to make sure we're perfectly lined up here. So that shin is parallel to the front of the mat. That foot is flexed to protect the knee. And then once we're there now, we can straighten our hips out. Straighten out that back leg. And just pause here for a moment, breathe. And we know there's not a whole lot to the knee. So if this ever troubles the knee, we would come right out of it. Deepening the breath. All right, let's go ahead and lean to the left. Now, I know, get that block out as we put the hip onto the earth. Let that foot, that knee come in. And the foot can just relax. And now the knee relaxes. And now we come and straighten our hips out again. Take the big toe of that back foot, pull the legs away. And let's pause here in a proper pigeon to look up, tips of the ears, back of the room. Deepening your breath. And then slowly coming down to the elbows. Let your hands be soft. Breathing in, so breathing out, hum. All right, again, we're going to find that three-legged dog. So choices are to come through a tabletop, or you start to come up, press your hands firmly to the back. Starfish hands, curl the back toe, lift the knee, and then just shoot that leg up to the sky. And usually when you get it there, you got to make some adjustments. Once you got a little energy back to that hip, draw those big rainbows behind you. Beautiful. Put that foot on the earth. And then let's find stillness either in down dog or child's pose. Keep breathing. A good thing to notice about your thoughts, you can just notice, well, I'm having them, and then ask yourself, are they useful? Are they not useful? Beautiful. Go ahead and start to step your feet forward, taking your feet between your hands. We're going to inhale to a half lift. Exhale, bend your knees a little bit as you fold, heart's pressing forward, spine is straight. Head can hang heavy. Fingertips are either on the earth or on your blocks. Let's inhale forward, lift the heels. Pause there on the toes. And let's rock back, lift the toes, and pause there. Press forward with the heart. And melt those feet to the earth. Heel toe them as wide as the mat. Let's inhale, half lift. Bend the knees a little bit, fold a little more deeply. Shake the head out. And then you can just start a little rock right to left. And see if you can't find some new places to stretch in your legs. And don't be afraid to like really bend a knee and sway your hips over and just pause in those gooey spots. Come to stillness. We're going to take the right hand to the left ankle. You can sweep up with that left arm, sweeping in and out, or maybe you just want to sweep up and hold it. Inhaling as you sweep up, exhaling as you swoosh down. And then we're just going to switch sides. Ah, beautiful. Let's let that go. Heel to those feet back under you. Let's bring our hands to our knees, half lift. Let's cat-cow here just to massage the liver. Inhaling heart forward. Exhale, round through the spine. Let me say when we put a little pressure on our organs, it restricts the blood flow and then the blood flow surges in. It's supposed to be really good for those points. Beautiful. Go ahead and inhale, come all the way up to standing now. Beautiful. Bring your hands to interlace. Flip your palms, soften your shoulders. Let's look up, draw the hands back, open through the heart. Send your breath to your hips. They should be nice and juicy now. Level your gaze. Press the hands together. Take a big inhale. Exhale to the right. Look up. Maybe even twist the spine a little bit so the heart's intending to go towards the sky. Focus on that space right above your right hip. And twist a little more with every little breath. Beautiful. Come back through center. Take it to the other side. Back to center. Bring the fingertips back. Look up. And you're probably feeling the blood draining out of the fingers and the arms. So just with your mind, take a big breath in, exhale. Tell the blood to just flow there. Force it up. Beautiful. Level the gaze. We're going to slowly, like molasses, bring those arms down, maybe pausing halfway. And then all the way down. Just stand in this beautiful Tadasana. Eyes are closed, crossed, drawn up to the third eye center. Find that heart beating in your chest and just breathe into it. And then sending the heart into the palms of the hands. And as always, we place that form we hold divine in the third eye center. And send the message to merge. Beautiful. You can open your eyes. Now it's up to you. Hands to heart center, arms up to the sky. We're going to step back to a crescent lunge or crescent warrior, excuse me. Right foot. Place your attention on that and just step straight back. If you find yourself wobbling today, just seal the back foot for warrior one. Take your gaze up. Take the fingertips back. And just keep melding into this. Press through that right heel. Beautiful. Level the gaze. And we're going to step that right foot forward and just be so still at the front of the mat. Just step it forward. No adjustments necessary. Bring the hands to the heart. Close the eyes. Pressing palm to palm. And so we're going to do that on the other side and just visualize your approach. You can always step back, seal the foot, and then turn it. Lift your arms or not. Tension to the left foot. And when you're ready, step back. No adjustments necessary. Take your gaze up, take the fingers back. Beautiful. Step it forward, no adjusting. Hands to heart center. All right, we're going to do the same thing with warrior two. We're going to step the right foot back and we're just going to try to step right into it and not having to move at all. So step it back. And it's okay if we wobble around. That's why we're playing, right? And let's be perfect in our pose. If there's such a thing, look down, make sure you only see your big toe. Don't let your knee collapse. Arms are at the same level, the shoulders. Exhaling, pulling the navel in deeply, engaging the pelvic floor. Now we're going to step forward, but I want you to, when you do step forward, lift both arms up and press the palms together. And then bring the hands to heart center. Step back with the left. Take a pause, breathe. And we're going to step forward, arms lift. Hands to heart center. Good job. Close the eyes. Let's step back to warrior two again. Right foot steps back. You got it. And now let's take the elbow to the knee. Reach that right arm straight up. Pause here. And this is the favorite way for me to get into personally triangle. Just straighten your front leg and open that arm up. Both palms are facing the outside walls. Bend your knee and inhale, lift up. Let's straighten that front leg, turn both feet, straighten the back leg, warrior two on the other side. Pause. And then let's get that right elbow to right knee, reach straight up with that arm. Pause here. Fingers spread wide. And then to go to triangle, simply straighten the leg, open the arm. Try not to let your bum stick out too much. We want to be like a page in a book. Bend the knee to inhale, come up. Straighten that right leg, turn both feet to the wide edge of the mat. Maybe turn them out a little left and right. Let's exhale, halfway pause. It's okay to bend your knees here. Connect with your breath. As you're exhaling, feel that navel comes in and the torso gets a little bit longer, and then we fold. Head hangs heavy. Shake it yes, shake it no. Noticing your thoughts. So hum, I am. Beautiful. Inhale, half lift. Heel to those feet a little bit closer together, but wider than the hips. We're going to reach the hands to the ankles, and we're going to sit down into a squat-ish. with the elbows pressed into the knees pressed into the elbows. You can always rock a little bit here. Try to get any tension out of your neck, your head. Beautiful. Unbend those knees, hands to the earth. Walk them around to the front of the mat and step to down dog or child's pose. Make your dog your own. If you're still, just bend the knees ever so slightly. Push that tailbone up. Press down through the heels. Squeeze those thighs together. Let's rotate the shoulders over the wrists. Come into a plank position. And then let's come all the way down to the belly. Slide your hands all the way out in front of you. Spider fingers to the earth. Seal the toes to touch. Press the 10 toenails into the mat. Let's inhale, roll up the torso. Pause here for a moment. Keep breathing. And then see if you don't want to lift one foot on an inhale, and on an exhale, place it down. Inhale the other foot and exhale. On an exhale, roll down, stack your hands for your head, just pause. Now inhale, lift up, and bring your arms out into cactus arms and lift your toes. That's the inhale. The exhale brings everything down and the arms forward. Inhale, rising up and exhaling. And arms together and then down. Forehead to the mat. Bring the arms down by the sides, palms up. And place the chin on the mat. And now press all 10 fingernails, all 10 toenails into the mat and inhale, lift up. Keep breathing. Beautiful. Exhale, roll down. Bring one arm out all the way long in front of you. We're going to swim over to our backs. And once you get there, if you have a ponytail, you can take that out. Bring the knees in. Give yourself a little hug here. And let's do a bridge pose. So if you want to support your bridge, just put your block under your sacrum. Otherwise, see if you can't get your heels pretty close to your glutes. Get the feet, the knees, everything's all in alignment. Arms are by the sides, palms down. Let's just start by tipping the tailbone deep into the earth, making a little cave of the lower back. And then gently starting to press that out as the hips draw up to the sky. Inhaling up, exhaling down. And focus on each little vertebra, connecting, disconnecting. If you like to roll and press those hips up and just stay there. Maybe you can interlace your fingers underneath you, walk a shoulder, the other shoulder, tilt that chin up, squeeze the thighs together a little bit. Just keep breathing. Beautiful. Slowly roll all the way down. Bring those knees back in. And then let the knees align with the hips, arms into that T or above your head, and let the knees drop to the left, head to the right. And if you need a little bit more of a stretch, just put your left foot on top of the right knee. And releasing, let's take it to the other side. And gently release through center. Maybe one final hug before we migrate to Shavasana. And I'll play the gong while you rest. So letting that energy just kind of wash through you. In Shavasana, you can take your feet wide as your mat. Let them splay left and right. And just softening your tongue and your mouth. Letting it soften down the throat and through the lungs and into the belly. And you can start to take a big breath in, big breath out. And start to wiggle through your fingers, through your toes, rolling your wrists, rolling your ankles. And then maybe enjoying a big full body stretch, arms overhead. And bringing the hands to the heart center, rub them together, make some heat. And then you can take those warm hands and either press them into your heart or press them over your eyes and bless yourself. And then gently rolling to the right, making a pillow for your head, for your arm. And let's set an intention for this week to honor our thoughts, noticing them, redirecting them, and contemplating if our thoughts are creating this reality, and choosing to move to better thoughts. And gently using your hands, we'll come to seated. And we'll bring our fingertips to forehead center, bowing in gratitude for this day, for this practice. Thank you for sharing it with me. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you. Nice. Do your hips feel better?